Let's start with the strengths and the weaknesses of your typical digital phone. First of all, it's always with you. It's easy to use. Generally, great picture and great sound. It's an awesome point-and-shoot camera. But because it is intended for uses with your family, pictures, or videos, it presents some weaknesses that we need to address. Let's start with picture. The way it gives you good exposure is to average every scene into capturing the middle range between dark and light. Not too much washed out overexposure, not too much darkness. And in most circumstances, it does a pretty good job. A wide-angle lens keeps almost everything in focus, and many cameras even recognize when a face is present and adjust for optimal focus and exposure. But because it is designed to keep everything in the middle range, it sometimes makes bad choices. Watch, for instance, if I frame out the brightness of this window, my shot looks pretty good. But if I include the window even a little, the camera tries to compensate for that brightness and it shuts down the exposure, which makes our friend Dia look like she's sitting in the dark. Sound can also be a problem if you rely on the built-in microphone. And some people even begin to feel a little seasick from some shaky handheld videos. So to elevate our footage to top-notch smartphone videos, let's take on those common problems one at a time. First, there's a valuable app in our recommended equipment package called Filmic Pro. It's available for iOS as well as Android phones, and when you fire it up, it'll look something like this. This gives you all the exposure and focus control you'll ever need. But first things first, let's set up our video recording settings. Now, I'm just going to go over this enough to get you started so you can produce some useful footage, but I suggest you take some time to go through all of these settings and familiarize yourself with the possibilities. Shoot at your highest available resolution. If your phone can only shoot HD or 1080p footage, then that's what you choose here. I'm setting mine for a resolution at 4K, 16:9 aspect ratio, which is the aspect ratio or shape of most modern TVs. I also choose filmic quality, which has a really nice efficient codec. That's how the software captures and compresses the footage. My frame rate is 30 frames per second or FPS. Playback is the same. Audio is set for PCM at 48 kilohertz. And as I said, there are many adjustments available in Filmic Pro. YouTube has many useful videos to satisfy your curiosity, but for now, I just want to keep it simple. This is the main screen, and these are the controls you'll be using most, and really the main reason for using Filmic Pro at all. This round circle is how you set and lock your exposure. It's very helpful to get the best exposure on your subject like this. I'm now looking to get the best exposure on the subject's face. And with the tap, the circle turns red and the exposure is locked and remains the same no matter where you point the camera. This is important for this kind of situation and essential when you're panning like this. Now this little box controls focus in the very same way that the circle controls exposure. Tap it and it's locked. We'll be learning a lot more about composition and camera techniques later on, but first I wanted to point out this simple little device. It's part of our package. It's a clip that attaches your phone to a tripod. This little device alone will help separate you from most selfie videographers. It's essential for most interviews and one-person self-made videos. We call this step one for making top-notch videos.